You're listening to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
What is up, everybody, on a thirsty Thursday edition of Sweep the League? It's almost Friday tomorrow. It is Friday. It's the happiest day of the week. Gets us ready for the weekend coming up. You guys got any plans for the weekend? Drop them in the comments. Big day tomorrow. Madden release. We're giving away a copy of Madden to one lucky subscriber out there. We gave away a copy of College Football 25 when release date. We're doing the same thing for Madden. Also announced, we've announced it before. We're going to keep announcing it. Pretty much games that come out, WWE. When that comes out, we'll give you a copy of that. Also, NBA, when NBA 2K comes out, we'll give a copy of NBA 2K. We're going to give you all copies of games, galore. Plus, we're almost at 200 subscribers on YouTube. You know what? In a couple of months' time, that is massive, guys. We appreciate every one of y'all for subscribing. Share the stream. Share our YouTube page. Help us get to 1K. Why? Because Coach Gio himself has said it, and I've said it. Once we get to 1K, 1K gets you paid. That's the slogan. 1K gets you paid. Somebody's going to win some cold hard cash from Sweep the League once we get to 1,000 subscribers. So let's share that YouTube page out. Let's try to get there as well. So again, Madden giveaway tomorrow. All you got to do is go to our YouTube page, be a subscriber. We're going to get one lucky subscriber. Madden 25. Love it, love it, love it. Derek Irvin's off tonight. He had something that did come up, so hopefully he'll join us back tomorrow. Coach Gio, we sent out the Batman signal for Coach Gio. We'll see if he answers the signal, answers the call, but if not, definitely we'll have him hopefully on tomorrow. Also, guys, quick reminder before we get into our talk here, Monday and Wednesday, starting this Monday, it's going to be different, the time. So pretty much our schedule is Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. That's normally when we start, but Monday and Wednesdays for sure, I'm going to be busy. So we're going to be doing daytime shows. I believe Wednesday is going to be right around 3 o'clock Central Time for our start on the Wednesday show. Monday right now, it's still kind of up in the air, but we're looking at possibly morning to mid-afternoon for that show. So again, we're going to keep everybody updated on the time. Be sure to follow us on our social media page. I'll try to put a video out on each of our social media pages so you guys are up to date when the time changes are for Monday as well as Wednesday, to give everybody a chance to join us live. And we're going to try to replay the show again at 9 p.m. both of those nights. That way, if you are used to listening at 9, you'll have a chance to listen to us at 9. Let's get to some of the comments. Tim Gonzalez is in here. Tar Heel Suck, Poodle Blue Devils. And yeah, they are playing Incarnate Word in Durham on December 10th. What's up, Joel? How you doing, man? Y'all, I appreciate you and Tim, JC, everybody in here right now. Just started. We got about 27 guys in the stream right now, so definitely love everybody here. Stewie's on fire tonight. Liberty up big over the Sparks. Welcome back, WNBA. Hell yeah. So Gio give up some of his Super League money contract. Well, we're going to start finding Gio whenever he doesn't show. So he's a very, very important part of the show, but we're going to have to start finding him some of his NIL money as well. Yo, I'm White from Back School Activities. This weekend is chill, pull, and naps. Exactly, man, exactly. My daughter started school today, so she had to start first day of school. She had her first volleyball game. They ended up losing, but you know what? It's first game. I shout out to the coaches, man. Coaches getting them ready all summer for volleyball. My daughter's first year playing volleyball. She was really scared, really timid today, but it happens. What's good, brother? Heard Dak is getting close to getting paid. That is true. Some of the rumors out there that Dak's getting ready to collect the bag from Jerry. Tag me for the schedule. I will tag everybody, Tim. Don't worry. Heading to Houston on Sunday to catch the Red Sox play the Astros on Monday. Taking my mom and me to watch the Red Sox play in person for the first time. You know, Joel, the Red Sox are a team I have not yet seen play in person. Luckily, I've been able to see quite a few teams play. I've been able to see quite a few players play. And, you know, I say in my time, I'm all 45 years old, but I'm a lot older than a lot of these guys in here as well. But I've always wanted to go to Boston, Fenway Park. That's one of my dreams, and one of my dreams is to obviously see the game on the Green Monster. And it's weird. I want to go to Boston to watch the game at Fenway. I want to go, to Chicago for Wrigley Field. I've never had the urge to go Yankee Stadium or anything like that. I don't know why. I just never have had that urge to go to watch a Yankee game in New York. I've been to Houston. I've been to Texas. I've been to a lot of minor league ballparks as well. When we lived in Ohio, we went to the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, saw a Reds game. I saw a couple of Reds games up there. We went to, we live close to Dayton as well, so we saw the Dayton Dragons play up there. That was actually when Chapman, is it Aroldis Chapman? The young kid, he was just coming up, man, Chapman, throwing 104 over in Dayton with the Dragons before he was called up to Cincinnati. So, yeah, man, hope you and your mom, hope it's a great game watching the Sox and the Astros on Monday. Good luck to you guys, and be safe traveling. I've been to Fenway at least once for the last 3 seasons, including opening day this year. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Next time you go, be sure to take some pictures, tag me and the crew. We'd love to see you, man. I've always wanted to go catch a game in Fenway. Leha, what's good, Rudy? How's everyone doing this evening? Time to crack a code. Leha, it's good. That's good. I've been having some tough days lately. Dad passed away on August the 12th, so these days in August, I don't really look forward to them. But so far, today's been really, really good. Daughter started her 6th grade year already. She played volleyball. She's back in school. You know what? Life's great, man. We're breathing. Life's great. I appreciate you checking in. I appreciate Chris Leha, MCS General Contracting, great sponsor for Sweep the League. We're going to get into them here in just a second. We're friends on Facebook. There are pictures for sure. Yeah, definitely. I'll check out the pictures for sure. And look at this guy. He walks in right now because he's not going to get fined. I mentioned the word fine, and all of a sudden someone decides to show up.
I'm here. That's all that matters.
Oh, you're only here so you don't get fined. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, right?
Yeah, something like that.
AEW All-In pay-per-view is coming to Texas next year. I did see that. I think it's in Jerry World. Best of luck to your little brother. I appreciate it, Chris. Appreciate it very, very much. Good luck to all the kids out there, man. Starting a brand new school year. I don't miss those days, but I do miss those days. I don't know. I miss school sometimes.
Weren't you in school like back in 1956?
Yeah.
Right?
My classmates were Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone. Yeah, basically. In 1968, I wasn't even born in 68. I was born in 79.
Didn't you go to school with Ted Bundy too, right?
Yeah, I did. I did. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to figure who would be the most famous person at our school that you would know. I mean, Henry Cisneros went to Central Catholic. He was a mayor of San Antonio. I don't think you know him. Sonny Melendrez is a radio DJ now. I don't think you know him. I think me and Jeff Garcia are probably the 2 most famous guys that came out of Central Catholic.
Well, Jeff needs to run for mayor, and I've been saying it. It's time to get Jeff there.
Can you imagine Jeff Garcia, mayor of San Antonio? That would be pretty bomb right there. That'd be awesome. I wonder if he would make me like deputy mayor or something. Is there a vice president of mayor or whatever? I don't know. I don't know politics. I know jack ass about politics.
Don't be stealing the money, Rudy.
I don't need to steal the money, man. I'm not even worried about that. Welcome to Sweep the League, man. Everybody, shout out to everybody who joined us on the stream. We're going to get into some sports talk right now. So we're going to dedicate tonight, Gio, because you and I, we've been fantasy football. We're not even fantasy gods. I mean, let's be real. Fantasy gods, no. We're fantasy immortals. We run the table majority of the time. So we're going to give everybody, because fantasy, I'm drafting already in a couple of leagues next week, and we just got to get to use all that. We got to get to these people to give all the takes on it, man. And we'll get to some more NFL talk. You mentioned about, Cleveland Browns and all that North, AFC North. So we'll get into all that as well. Appreciate all the comments. Most famous person from my high school, Yandel, from the reggaeton duo Weezen and Ya. Actually, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Do you know? Is that your generation?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's your generation? Holy cow.
That's part of it. I mean, there's a lot of different genres in that era, but yes, that was the reggaeton era.
That was your. Did you ever jam out to reggaeton?
Of course, Rudy. I lived in Florida, in Orlando, which is Hispanic heaven. So, yes, I sure did.
More than San Antonio?
Well, Rudy, you have to understand when I mean Hispanics. So we're talking about Caribbean Hispanics, right? From Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba.
Okay.
Yes. So all those are
Of Hispanic descent.
There's other Hispanics besides Mexican. You are aware of this, Rudy?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm aware of it. I just didn't think Orlando. I'm more Miami. I'm more, I think Orlando. Honestly, I would have never expected Orlando.
Well, Orlando, Kissimmee area. It's all over the South and also North. It's interesting. Quick story. I used to work at SeaWorld.
You too? That was my first job.
Oh, in San Antonio.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay,
man.
yeah. So I was working at SeaWorld. This new girl comes over from from California.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, man, like, we were talking about food. She's like, oh, you must really like spicy food, right? I'm like, no. She's like, yeah, because you're Mexican. I'm like, you do realize there's other Hispanics besides Mexican people. Like, there's dozens.
Spain.
Yeah, Spain, Argentina, and then obviously in the Caribbean.
South America. I mean, is it bundled up South America? Do you bundle that up?
South America, yeah. I mean, it's what Chile and all those other. I mean, it's different, right? So yes, I am. But yes, Florida has a lot of Cubans. I mean, Cubans are a lot obviously in Miami, but they're spread out as well. So a little history lesson for Rudy Campos Jr.
I appreciate that. I miss school all the time, man. My cousin used to DJ for Daddy Yankee and currently is on tour with Yandel. Just came back from Europe. My cousin is kind of a big deal. Hey, well, hell, I mean, if you got, I mean, I know one of my friends, my childhood friends, his son is DJing, I think in like Miami and California. I'd have to share that. I think he's on Facebook too, but that's pretty crazy. Honestly, I couldn't even name you a Daddy Yankee song. I'm sure you can.
Rudy, you don't know any Daddy Yankee songs?
I have no idea.
Rudy, what?
I'm serious.
You have you have Gasolina, which is
that is
one of his.
I don't know this. I really don't. I don't know any of the Gasolina. I mean, now that you mentioned, I've heard of it, but I wouldn't have never guessed that was Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of. I mean, that era was. You'd have that music.
People giving me shit all day. I really did. Bro, you're talking to a guy who, when I was on the Sports Dime, I was being told about The Weeknd, and here I am mentioning Saturday and Sunday. I had no idea there was an artist called The Weeknd. I looked like a complete idiot on the radio.
Yeah, The Weeknd. What'd you say?
Well, because at the time they were like, hey, The Weeknd's performing, yada yada. And in my head, I'm just thinking, I'm often, La La Land thinking The Weeknd. I'm like, well, who's performing on The Weeknd? The Weeknd. I'm like, I know The Weeknd, but who's performing this weekend? What are we talking about? And it just went into all hell right there. I come to find out The Weeknd is an artist. And
you thought The Weeknd was just an actual weekend?
I thought The Weeknd was Saturday. I always do Saturday and Sunday, bro. I swear, you can ask Shemaiah about that. Shemaiah literally probably had to mute his mic from laughing. I mean, it was crazy, dude. I don't know a lot of the new artists I didn't know. People from Spain aren't Hispanic, no mames. CGO, you are in trouble already.
Dude, you guys know what? Actually, Rudy said that. I never actually said
Spain. I didn't say anything. Don't put it on.
You said Spain.
No, you said there are many different Hispanics. And dude, I said, okay.
We're not going to get into the...
We can't get into all that.
Yes, we understand there's a term.
You're going to spend a whole segment just on trying to do the geography shit, and I can't do that. There's no way. Damn, Rudy, what the... Leha, you got to understand, man, I'm 45, man. Me, it was Warren G and, Dr. Dre. And
no, Rudy was listening to Kenny G.
Kenny G was big. Kenny G was big, man. I'm gonna throw a group out there. that I used to listen to. I if anybody knows it, holy cow, you're awesome. But PM Dawn. Did you ever listen to them?
PM Dawn.
PM Dawn.
That sounds familiar.
Okay, so one of their popular songs was on Boomerang, the movie with Eddie Murphy.
I'll Die Without You.
Yeah, I think that was the name of the song. It was on Boomerang, but I used to listen. I had a PM Dawn CD at the time. I mean, I was probably the only one that bought one. What else I listened to way back in the day? I mean, you're talking, geez, man. Pearl Jam was big for me. Ugly Kid Joe. I was a big Ugly Kid Joe fan. Green Jelly. Did you ever listen to Green Jelly, Gio?
No, but
Three Little Pigs.
No, I've heard of them, but I don't think I've crossed paths there.
Here we go. Wait, Christopher, people from Spain are in fact Hispanic, but they're not Latino. So there's the difference. Hispanic, Spain, Latino is Latin. So
I never said any of that. What's going on here with
You're the one.
I said Hispanic. I didn't go to Latino and all that other stuff. I just kept it simple.
Who the hell is Little Baby?
Oh, he's a rapper.
It's a he?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man. Aren't they European? Joe Cologne, Dog, Daddy Yankee, been around 25 years, if not more.
Yeah, Rudy, I don't know where you've been, brother.
Sorry, man. What is the one guy? Man, Johnny something. It was on Sunday nights. It was Red Alert was the song. All it was Red Alert. Red Alert. I thought it was Johnny some DJ. I don't know. Johnny something. Everything was going to be. See, PM Dawn was a great group. Tim knows his music stuff here. They are, but the Hispanic term is group because we're Hispanic heritage, but Latinos are from Latin America. Okay. Texas Tornado. I do remember Texas Tornadoes. I went through my Ram Herrera and Mas and La Mafia, all those days. We went through all that right there. So, Rudy, I'm 47. I listen to all that too, but I'm from Puerto Rico. So, add reggaeton too. We'll add reggaeton. Whoa. Well, goddamn, man, if you speak Spanish or Hispanic, according to Google, the hell, my life has been a lie. So if you don't speak Spanish, Gio, you're not of any Hispanic descent, put it that way. Google's calling you out, and Leia is too. So everybody's calling you out, man.
Listen, the only opinion that matters is my opinion to myself. I don't care what anybody else says.
Daddy Yankee is now Ramon Luis Ayala. He's a brother in Christ now. See? Well, I would have not have even known that, man. Not even have known that. First segment is brought to you by MCS General Contracting, laying the foundation for everybody. MCS General Contracting is the place to be, the company to call. Driveways, swimming pools, everything. You need to add the patio. You need to start the foundation on a home. Doesn't matter. Give Lehan, the boys, a call over at MCS General Contracting today. They will take care of you 100% of the time, every time. So, Gio, we got a couple people. One person that they already drafted. They probably should have waited for this show because we're going to drop everything when it comes to fantasy football right now. Safe to say, can you say what percentage? 99% is Christian McCaffrey going number one. I almost would say this. If I have the number one pick, I'm trying to trade it because the number one pick just sucks. But after that, if I have to draft at number one, is it still good to go running back in the first couple of rounds only because running backs are so limited this season?
It depends on how your draft is. You know, I've been in leagues that have 2 flexes, 3 flexes, which are kind of the new school. Every time I've been in a league with Rudy, he has 1 flex. It's like,
whoa,
it's time to progress, Rudy. More flexes, more opportunity for points.
You want to flex? Got one right here for you.
But
bro.
no, I think Christian McCaffrey's, I would assume, the number one pick. I mean, look, he's been playing very well the last few years, so I don't like the number one pick. I tend to try to trade it, or if not, I do that. But I don't like going in with a plan. I like to see where I fit and just let the cards fall because every league has people who pull the plug early on players. But I always say if you want to get a player, you feel confident about it, pull the plug. So, but McCarthy's going number one. I would Assume so. I mean, there's not really. I mean, another guy going besides him. I do like Derrick Henry a lot in Baltimore, but might be a little.
But how soon do you draft Henry? Because you're kind of screwed with Lamar. I mean, that's the first thing that I would be thinking of. If you get Lamar, you're probably going to draft Henry later on. But I mean, running backs are so limited this year. That's the problem. I mean, tier 1, McCaffrey. Tier 2,
I don't know, Rudy. I mean, what you can go.
Bijan?
Maybe Breece Hall number 2 or 3.
Yeah, Breece Hall. I mean, Breece Hall would be tier 2. I'm talking if you miss out on McCaffrey at 1, you're going receiver after that. There's no reason why you would probably get a running back. I mean,
Bijan could be.
And you've already seen Jameer get hurt already in this offseason. So, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, he's not going to be the same Jonathan Taylor we're used to, I don't think.
I think he has an opportunity. I think the offensive line, from what I've been hearing in camp, has been pretty good. It's interesting seeing Puka Nakua's name in that, early second round.
It's not bad, though. I mean, it just depends. That's the thing. Like Joel said, he went wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, quarterback in the first 4 rounds. Now, Joel, let me know, who were your first 4 picks? And then what position were you drafted in? What number? I'd love to know that part first. But, Gio, if you're holding number 1, you're going McCaffrey, say 10-team league, coming back around, I mean, you're probably looking, do you think Saquon is there? Coming back around?
If you're drafting in this
top spot.
So the first and the 20th pick?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think Saquon's there?
No. I think probably you're looking at Joe Mixon, Devon Achane from the Dolphins. I'm not sure. Rachaad White. I don't love him. I don't love Tampa's.
Would you go Josh Allen?
At quarterback?
Coming back at 20?
It's possible, but I don't know what Josh Allen is. I don't know what that offense is. I'm sure they're going to throw it a lot, but are they going to run more with Cook? I don't really know what the offense is going to look like. If it's looked like in past years.
Well, Josh is going to run for some touchdowns. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're going to get a lot of rushing from Josh Allen. He doesn't really have receivers.
I think Jalen Hurts might be closer to the 3rd round. Makes more sense because listen, he runs. He could throw for touchdowns. Josh can do it as well, but it's a little bit of unknown. A lot has changed in Buffalo. This is a team that I think is trending down, if you want to say, Rudy. So Nakua, Pacheco, Olave, Mahomes.
And he was drafting at 12th.
That's a pretty good. Nakua did get hurt.
I don't know about Pacheco at coming back around. I mean, because you're going, if it's 12 team, you get Nakua at 12 and then Pacheco at 13. I don't know if I would have gone Pacheco at 13. That's hard to say. That's a very hard one to say.
Yeah, Pacheco, I do like him obviously in Kansas City, but really he's projected a 2nd round. So, Joel probably just pick what he could there because Kyren might be there at that spot.
Maybe Kyren Williams would have been there. I honestly even would have looked at ETN at that area if he's still available.
Yeah, he's another one who's more of a do-it-all. And he can catch and also run. I do like Chris Olave a lot.
Do you really? Because I'm not big on Olave right now.
Is it because of quarterback or is it just him?
I think it's because of the quarterback play. I really do. Now, I mean, you're talking Derek Carr, but Derek Carr's never been one of the top QBs. So I don't know if it really hurts Olave there as much. he's gonna get looks, that's for sure. But I just don't know if the production's gonna be as consistent with Olave. And I'll be honest, Mahomes in the fourth, I'm good with that. I think you got a hell of a deal for that.
For Olave, you definitely want to see more touchdowns. He did have 1,100 yards last season. Touchdowns, he had 5. Double digits, obviously, is what you're looking for, especially if you're now. He's probably more of a second round guy. So what, 7 to 8 touchdowns, Rudy? You're looking for,
yeah.
But with his speed, the ability to really stretch the field, I would like to see 10, 15. One of these guys are going to surprise, especially a receiver. Right? This is just such a throwing league. But at running back, Rudy, you're right though. Depending on how many flexes or stuff like that. But in general, running backs, you want to do pile on. But if you go receiver, which I've done before, it's not the end of the world. It just means you better hit on your running backs later because you might get. I mean, look at Zach Moss, Rudy, in Cincinnati. Is he in Cincinnati now? Hey, he could be an interesting pick. Not sure where he's going, but I would assume 3rd round.
Well, they had an injury today, and I think he's out for this season. That was the Bengals, actually. Let me bring it up real quick. I have it over here. Yeah, the Bengals. I want to say it was Brown. I don't think it was Moss, but I want to say it was Brown for the Bengals.
I think they'll be a good. Right now,
I'm sorry, Chris Evans. Rookie.
What, 6th round for Zach Moss? It's like, Brady, I think that's a steal. He played very well last season in absence of Jonathan Taylor. So I think Zach Moss in that offense, obviously, they're going to be throwing a bunch, but in the red zone, watch out for Zach Moss because I wouldn't be surprised, Rudy, if a guy like this gets 10 touchdowns. We saw Jamal Williams, Rudy, a few years ago get, 15 touchdowns?
Yeah.
And then he didn't do anything the following season. So
if you go receiver, I can give you another couple of guys here that I actually like.
Swift as well.
Swift is a good one for Chicago. He's going to get, the bulk of the carries, but also I like Jaylen Warren later. I think he's going to be that back in Pittsburgh. He's going to be better than Najee. I think 100%.
I like Najee a lot. It looks like he has a piano on his back half the time. It's just interesting. He's good, obviously, the thumper, but you did see Warren coming a lot last year and a good change of pace. He could really run, depending on what did he get out of the receiver? I mean, out of the quarterback position, Rudy. Because if they get last season's
that's tough.
Russell Wilson, but better, because Russell actually had a good year. If you go look at the numbers, it was a lot of dinks and dunks in the offense, obviously, with Sean Payton really just mellowing down the offense. I think golden opportunity for one of those backs to really step up. Pickens, Johnson's gone. He's now over there in Carolina. Rudy, it's possible they get Brandon Ayuk. I know that's been flirting around with Pittsburgh. If they get him,
pretty much happened already. They're just waiting for the details.
So I really think Ayuk and Pickens, Rudy, with a quarterback and a run game. I think either Warren or Harris could be one of those scenarios where it's committee, right? Who has the hot hand that day? But I like Harris. Just he doesn't really give you much after running. It always seems like he's not really running anywhere. But yeah, no, it's Zach Moss. How about Tyjae Spears from Tennessee, Rudy? What do you think?
Love him.
Is going on in the backfield? I think he's another kind of guy you can get 6th, 7th round or 8th, kind of depending on how your draft is.
So you're basically that's the thing that a lot of these teams have multiple backs, so they're going to get quite a few touches between the both of them. I mean, Tyjae Spears is going to share, carries with Tony Pollard. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to share carries with David Montgomery. I mean, Najee Harris is going to share, he's going to share them with Jaylen Warren.
How about Zeke, Rudy?
It's funny you mentioned Zeke, but if I could get Zeke in the later rounds, I mean, I'm not opposed to it because you're looking at a goal line back right there. You got the old Jerome Bettis, Buffet Bettis basically there. I would take Zeke later on. I mean, I'm not definitely lying about that. I definitely would take Zeke Elliott later in the draft. But, but who do you, I think Dallas is one of the few teams where you're probably not drafting a running back unless you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, they've had joint practices with the Rams. It's been interesting to see. I don't know, Rudy. I've said it. I've been on record that Dallas, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. There's something about this season, Rudy. DK in the 6? He's streaky. He's a guy that I think loses focus. He also tried to hit his teammate with his helmet a few weeks ago, which I thought was very odd, but very in character of DK Metcalf. I like DK a lot this year. The Seahawks' new coach, right, Rudy? Kind of a new thing coming in there, trying to fix up the defense. Defense has been their Achilles heel for the most part. I think this is it, though, at quarterback, Rudy. It is, if he doesn't have a good year, do you think they cut bait with Geno?
Yes.
Because I think so. I don't see first year, look, played very well. Second year, third year, if Geno doesn't really, and I'm hearing a lot of movement. I think Richard Sherman said, watch out for the Seahawks. Well, of course, Richard, you live in Seattle, so I would expect you to say that. But
I think if they get off to, let's be honest, if they get off to a 2-4, 3-4 start, for the season, I think you probably see Sam Howell before it's all said and done. I mean, they're going to have to move on from Geno. And
Sam, look, he played with the Commanders. He was with Eric has something they call the enemy as the offensive coordinator. And I thought in spurts he played well. I thought he could have got another shot in Washington, but obviously they went in a different direction with Daniels. I think Howell a lot. I think he could really work, obviously, in these pieces, and they have that there. They also got a running game, Rudy, with Walker, the offensive line, their defense. Hearing some good things about them here in the preseason. So the Seahawks are an interesting team. I don't know what to make of them, simply because obviously new coach, quarterback. And Pete Carroll isn't there, so.
Yeah, one guy that I'm looking at, and this is you're gonna grill me for this 100% of the time, but if I'm looking like Joel, that a Rome Odunze pick in the 8th, that's an absolute steal. I mean, I know Caleb Williams is his quarterback, but if there's
what's the problem there, Rudy?
If there's one guy that's going to benefit from having Keenan Allen and DJ Moore there, it's going to be Rome. I think Rome. Can I just say it? Should I just say it now? Yeah, I'm going to say it now. Screw the football preview, but I'm going to say it now. Rome Odunze is the number 1 wide receiver at the end of the year. Rookie wide receiver at the end of the year. I have him as number 1 at the end of the year.
I think it's too easy. I think the NFL guys will say, no, it's going to be somebody else that we don't have on our radar. Who that
Everybody's
is?
got Xavier Worthy circled, and I get it why, but Xavier doesn't have it other than the quarterback and Travis Kelce. Can you imagine? Rome's going to be catching a lot of slants. I mean, he's going to be open a lot. Caleb just has to hit him. If Caleb doesn't hit him, then Rome doesn't fall. Rome is not, going to be built this season, basically. There's no way.
So, look, Rome, I think he's a great talent. I think he's going to have the opportunity. Worthy playing in Kansas City. They haven't been, look, Rudy, their receivers have been, let's just say, very subpar. They have been amongst, I think, the leaders in drops as well.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it didn't work out with some of the guys there. Tony, that whole thing was weird at the end. Didn't even play in the Super Bowl. I think Rudy can really make a big impact. If Andy can listen, if he's anything like Tyreek, Rudy, then Chiefs have hit a home run. But it's been hard to find a replacement because they just have a bunch of guys. As Bill Parcells once said, he's a Jag, just another guy, right?
Nice.
He's just a guy. So Rudy, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. obviously in dynasty leagues for fantasy, and you obviously want to have him there.
That's so hard to say, though. I mean, Harrison Jr. doesn't have anybody to take the pressure off of him.
Rudy, I like a lot Brian Thomas from Jacksonville.
Oh, he's on my list. He's
another one that, look, they let go of your boy there with Mr. DraftKings himself. Was it Steve? Is it... It's Ridley, right? Yeah. So Calvin's gone, Rudy. There could be another mouth to feed there. He's what, about 6'2"? I think a really golden opportunity. He also led LSU in catches. I like that spot for him. You know, Rudy, who's been getting love, and you might laugh, but Larry McConkey from the Chargers.
I'm not laughing.
Been playing well. I'm not surprised. It just kind of caught me off guard just because it's not the most sexy pick, right, that the Chargers got. But he's been playing pretty well. He's not obviously a big receiver, but definitely could see him working out of the slot.
Keon Coleman's another one. If you want to look at a rookie, I mean, he's going to be probably the main option
for the
Buffalo.
Bills.
So the rookie class is big time. I'm not going to lie.
Well, listen, if they ship Ayuk out, then Ricky.
Yeah.
Listen, one thing about Kyle, he may not be able to win Super Bowls, Rudy, but he can scheme a hell out of a damn offensive game. As a Rams fan, I hate playing against the 49ers, and not just because I obviously don't like their fans as well as their team, but one thing Kyle can do, Rudy, he can scheme them up with the best of them. It's difficult to stop that offense because they run a lot of misdirection, a lot of gadgets, and a lot of just ways to get your best players to football. So Ricky is an interesting spot here because if Ayuk's gone, now they do got Jennings, right? They re-signed Jennings, which I believe is going to be a big part of that offense. They paid a decent amount to keep him. I mean, look, you also have Malachi Corley up there in the Jets. I mean, Jermaine Burton from the Bengals.
Jalen Pogue's probably going to be your wide receiver one in New England before it's all said and done. There's no doubt about it in my head. And then Xavier Legette from Carolina.
Yeah.
Again, this is kind of why I started looking at fantasy football because I'm not doing all 24 leagues that I was in last year. I'm only doing a few this year, so I cut down a whole lot.
Really, 24 leagues? Why?
I don't know, dude. I'm a junkie.
Well, what's the obsession?
I don't know. I really don't know. People ask. I said yes, I'll join. I'm an immortal, dude. I'm a fantasy immortal, man. I'm not a fantasy guy. I'm a fantasy immortal, and I had to prove it. So. I actually made a profit last year, so that was a good thing.
That doesn't even sound fun though. 24 leagues.
It's not fun.
It just doesn't really sound.
Every person on the damn list to be drafted, I had him on one team. Put it that way. So
I was saying, like, you're playing against people you have in different leagues, or even your team.
Yeah, I mean, hey, out of those leagues, I just had to cash in 6 of them, and I made all my money back. So
well, listen, the more you put in, it's kind of like FanDuel, Rudy. As you know, lately I've been playing. I got back. I've been. I know, right? I've been on the. I took a break from betting for a while, and I got back into baseball, and it done pretty well. Actually, did pretty well. Did pretty well today. Though Rafael Devers he's killing me, man. The last few days, this guy has really ruined other tickets. If you're listening, Devers, listen. Hit the ball. I get you get that a really unorthodox swing, whatever, but please hit the ball. But yes, it's just like DraftKings and FanDuel. The more you put or the more you play, it doesn't matter if it's $5-10, the more you're likely going to hit. But yeah, Rudy, it's Wookiee wide receivers are always, it's tough, right? Depending on the situation, depending on where you look. I also like the other receiver from Kansas City, Rice, Rudy. He's another one. Hopefully he can stay out of trouble and not drive any cars past midnight.
Oh God. No. Well, I'm glad you did mention my other draft pick here that I'm planning to get is Malik Neighbors, because he's only got the best quarterback throwing to him 100% of the time. And when Daniel Jones.
Listen.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad when he's got 16 touchdown passes from somebody other than Daniel Jones.
Are they going to be able to run the football there?
I don't care as long as Daniel throws for Peyton Manning numbers. Who cares, right?
Their offensive line is good. Listen, a few years ago, Rudy, that offensive line was so bad. I mean, last year, Rudy, they lost. What was it, 40-0?
Yeah.
Or for some god awful stat to the Cowboys, who have owned the Giants for a bit here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Malik, listen, he's going to play well, but we don't know. And the beauty of football is we're about to know in a few weeks.
Yeah, we are. Hey, we're way overdue for a commercial break. We're going to have a long commercial break right now. This is Coach Gio, Derek Irvin. We'll be back hopefully tomorrow, but it's Coach Joe, Rudy Campos Jr. Getting ready for fantasy football, guys. Get a little bit more when we get back. We'll be back in a second.
Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Hey guys, are you ready for a flavor explosion? Look no further than La Cocina Taco Truck, serving up the best street tacos and quesadillas in New Braunfels. With a 5-star rating and rave reviews, they're not just a taco truck. They are a taste sensation. La Cocina staff is the best in town and pride themselves on making every customer feel like family. Whether you're feeding a crowd or just satisfying your own cravings, they've got you covered because no order is too big or too small for them there. Louis and his staff are all about customer satisfaction and they love their community. Don't worry, San Antonio friends. They're just a short trip away to New Braunfels. So why wait? Come visit La Cocina Taco Truck today and taste the difference for yourself. That's La Cocina Taco Truck, where every bite is a fiesta. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Spurs fans, are you ready to stay ahead of the game of the San Antonio Spurs with the best coverage in the business? Tune in to Locked On Spurs, the daily podcast that brings you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and all the latest news and updates for your silver and black. Join Jeff Garcia, the most informative and entertaining host in the game, as he breaks down all Spurs news and notes, interviews the biggest names, and keeps you locked into all things Spurs. From Monday to Friday, get ready to start your day with the best Spurs coverage in the business. Don't miss out on the expert opinions, the hot takes, and the can't miss guests. Make sure you're locked in with Locked On Spurs. Subscribe to their YouTube channel now and stay ahead of the game all season long. Locked On Spurs. It's the best Spurs coverage in the business. Don't miss out.
All right, welcome back to Sweep the League. Coach Gio Rudy Campos Jr. getting you ready for fantasy football. We got a lot of drafts coming up, so we're going over some fantasy football talk here. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comment section. In the chat, we'll get to them here. Joel saying, I assure you that Carita is not watching. LOL. I'm not too sure on that. That's up to you. I don't know if that's on you or not. I don't know. Sometimes we gotta explain stuff to us. I'm an old man. I don't know how that. Next year.
That I don't know. I know. Is that a skincare line?
I have no idea. Shedeur Sanders in my league, definitely not. I'm not taking Shedeur Sanders. This last segment is going to be brought to you by MCS General Contracting, La Cocina Taco Truck, also Special Leaf Tea, and Castro and Sons Solar. So those are going to be our last segment for the evening here. Just a reminder, it's going to be for nickname Devers. Rafael Devers' nickname is Carita. All right, there you go. See,
he's been
gotta break it down. Just don't give me the Devers pick. Give me all your other picks.
Damn parlay. He screwed up. Actually, 3 of them the last several days. I could have won a good amount of money. I still won, but he's been screwing up. He's in a kind of a funk. It's weird.
Are you taking the significant other out to these big time dinners? That's what I need to know with the money.
I'm saving so I can increase my my cash flow over there, Rudy.
Okay.
I'm trying to win like 180K or something like that.
Jeez. Okay. All right.
I did put one in yesterday, like 2 days ago. That was for like 30K, but it was kind of one of those crazy ones.
Well, you seem to have been hitting, so when you're hitting, you just throw whatever sticks to the wall, and hopefully it does stick, man. But I don't know. One day I'll get my picks. Probably when you get your special leaf box, I'll get my picks.
And my Sweep the League T-shirt, which I have not received.
I already ordered it. I can call the distributor. I've already ordered it. So once it gets to me, then I can get it to you. I'm at the mercy of them. I got a lot of cool stuff in my house. I don't have a T-shirt press machine. I can't make you a T-shirt. So, and I'm not rich enough to have a cool Spurs sweater like that either. So, I mean, you send me one of those, I'll send you double the Sweep the League stuff.
I got this from Fanatics. I think it was Fanatics.
Fanatics is too rich for me. I live in a 13,000 square foot house, Gio. I got to pay for that.
You have more jerseys than I do. What are you talking about?
Those are over the years. I didn't buy those just all in one sitting. Those
Rudy,
are
hey,
over the years.
You could have been rich. Remember that card you had.
Let's go to the next subject. Why do you insist on bringing up old shit, man? So we're talking NFL fantasy football, man, and we're getting everybody ready here. So needless to say, Christian McCaffrey is number 1 on everybody's list. Now, go to the receivers. I mean, you're talking guys like CeeDee Lamb, you're talking Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown. Call me crazy, Joe, but if you got those 5 guys, is it safe to say that Justin Jefferson has fallen to the 5th spot in wide receiver rankings?
It has. I do. Yeah, I do like Sam Darnold in this situation. I mean, I don't know. He's probably the number 5, Rudy. But if you get him, you should still feel confident that he's going to go out there and compete and do all that stuff that a number 1 receiver will do. But he's definitely going to drop down. And if you decide to go with A.J. Brown over him, I wouldn't crucify you. I think Garrett Wilson, I think he's going to have he better have a big year with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
From what you've been saying, Rudy, about how this is the Jets' year, it's got to include them. And what's going on with Reddick? That's a weird weird
I
situation
saw.
there.
He wants to be traded, but I mean, I don't think you move him. I don't care what he wants. You don't move him.
Already, you knew you wanted a deal. Just pay the man. He's a top 5 sack leader in the last 5 seasons. You're getting ready to be a pass rusher, a premier pass rusher. That means money. You don't just get a premier pass rusher and not pay. I mean, you got Burns, which he's a very good player up there in the Giants. That they had to pay. You got to pay for these pass rushers in the league. And that's what he is. He's a premier. Go look at the numbers. Don't just listen to me. Go look at the numbers. You'll see he's amongst the highest sack guys in the last 5 years. He should be paid. He wants one more contract. What's the big deal?
Just pay him.
Just pay him.
This is a perfect example of what you always told me, and we talked about it before. The 49ers are seeing it this year. That window for winning the Super Bowl is closing. Now, when you're the Jets, this is your best opportunity to win a Super Bowl. You pay the damn guy what he wants.
You pay him. Now
there's nobody else.
A 2 or 3 year deal, okay, but just give him the money. Why'd you trade for him? What was the purpose? So he can play out the whole year? You knew, Rudy. They knew what they were getting themselves into. Yeah. Just imagine him, Rudy, on that defense. Inspired. I mean, their defense is already good. You add him to the mix.
It's great.
It's going to be a top 5, if not the number 1 defense in the league. So why trade him? If he wasn't going to do anything with it, you knew he wanted a deal. You knew that. That's why he requested a trade from the Eagles. You knew what he wanted. Oh, he hasn't been in camp. Boo-hoo. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Pay the man who'll be there. But why trade for him? What was the purpose? I have no idea. You knew what he wanted. Don't start to play this coach talk and all this GM lying talk, as they all do. And even as a Rams fan, everyone lies too. Yeah. So what was the purpose? Please, Jets.
I don't know. Joe Conce CD was the first pick in his draft. I would not ever disagree with that. I like that a lot. Granted, he's 32. We got rid of Judon for a 3rd rounder, but there were attitude issues with Gerard Mayo. Matthew Judon is a Falcon. Dirty Bird himself. Also, Justin Simmons is a Falcon. Did I get giddy? I got giddy when I saw both of those guys starting to come over to Atlanta. We weren't giving him a good new deal. So, yeah, I mean, I get it.
Are they going to give him a deal, Rudy?
Matthew Judon? Yeah.
He's 2, so
3 years? Maybe?
He won't see 3 years. He won't see the last year.
That's what I'm saying. 3-year deal, but, top heavy.
It's just a top heavy deal.
Yeah.
He's still got something left in the tank. And the Falcons, really, I like. I mean, you obviously would maybe prefer a Jared Verse or someone who's obviously on the come up. But I think he fits well what they're trying to do there. The defensive-minded head coach. The Falcons right now, Rudy, they should win the division. Carolina right now, I don't know what's going there. It's a young team, new coach.
They will win the division. I guess we can put a bet on that. Everybody wants to bet on that.
If the Falcons don't win, Rudy, it's just another reason why Falcons will be Falcons.
If they don't win the division, I'm probably going to have to switch fandoms. I'm going to go somewhere else. And in fact, I am a closet Jets fan. I love the Jets in the AFC. And I was praising them before this. Before this year, I was praising them too.
You like the stepbrother?
Yeah. The Jets are my stepchild, basically.
The Jets haven't won a playoff game in how long?
Mark Sanchez? Was that the last time? I think the Jets won a playoff game. So they're my and that's I'm not. Oh well, you know what? I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs, or I've never done anything like that. I like the Jets. My dad liked Joe. Broadway Joe. He liked watching him play, even though Broadway Joe is another one of the most overrated players.
Go look at that man's stats, and I'm not If you're listening, Joe, I'm not here to disrespect you, but your
I
stats,
want to kiss you.
your stats, along with Mr. Terry Bradshaw stats, is not very good. Also, Troy Aikman. Listen, I don't want to shit on Troy and Cowboy fans,
Shit all over them. You have before.
but
I know
Troy
you're
Aikman. Okay, it was okay. Nothing special to me.
F the Jets. Why? Because F the Jets. Thanks, Joel.
Rudy, those teams with Larry Allen and all those Charles Haley and Dion. Look, any quarterback could have won there. Let's be real.
Man, you know
If Brett Favre, if Brett Favre was there, now Brett's got to stop with the interceptions. But if Brett Favre was there, they would have won.
in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that prime 94 and up. Obviously, the Packers couldn't dethrone those Cowboys there, but obviously, prime Brett Favre, but it's no doubt in my mind.
Do the Steelers win the Super Bowl against the Cowboys if you switch quarterbacks? Put Aikman on the Steelers and Neil O'Donnell on the Cowboys. That's a good debate. That's a good debate.
I'm gonna say yes. The Cowboys find a way.
They still find a way.
Yeah.
You know, that is going to be a debate we're going to have because
that game was actually a pretty good football game.
that was probably one of their closest ones. I mean, they beat the crap out of the Bills. Who else was it? It was the Bills, the Steelers. Was it the Bills again? No.
Yeah, they beat the Bills twice, and then the Steelers. Yeah.
Okay. So the Steelers game was the better one, but that's a good question. If you switch Troy Aikman and put him on the Steelers, and you put I think it was Neil O'Donnell at the time.
Yeah.
On the Cowboys, do the Cowboys win that Super Bowl?
Rudy,
If you're saying Aikman doesn't mean anything, which I do, I've heard the same argument from a lot of people, and I'm not arguing with you on that.
Jimmy Johnson would have gotten the most out of Mr. O'Donnell, and I'm not saying Neil wasn't. Obviously, Troy's a better quarterback, and I'm not saying Troy's a bump. But I'm really not. All I'm saying is, in that era, you would never say, Rudy, that he was the best quarterback of his day.
Aikman?
Yeah.
We got to go into that because I agree with you. I mean, to me, Troy Aikman benefited from having one of the all-time great running backs, having one of the all-time great offensive lines. I mean, let's be real. The offensive line for the Cowboys was stout and a capital S at that. The defense, I mean, you're talking Charles Haley, Woodson. I mean, you're talking a bunch of guys on defense. Yeah, I don't know how you can basically say that Troy Aikman is one of the all-time greats.
Good player. But I would rather have Brett Favre, John Elway. I would rather have Steve Young, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly. Look, Jim Kelly was a very good quarterback. Yeah, lost 4 Super Bowls. The Washington,
he didn't make the field goal kick. He didn't kick it. That was Norwood.
That was Scott Warren. I would rather have Rudy. I'd rather have Warren Moon at quarterback.
Man, Warren Moon.
I'm telling you, listen, Warren.
Line. Oh my God.
Warren Moon with that arm, an outstanding arm, was part of obviously one of the biggest collapses. But Warren Moon, just imagine Warren not having to go to Canada, because remember, he had to go to Canada, if I'm not mistaken, and then come back because they believed he couldn't play quarterback.
Yeah.
What idiot. Drew Bledsoe, I would probably rather have.
No, I'll take Aikman over Bledsoe.
I'll take Aikman. If Mark Brunell had a longer stretch, I thought Mark was a really good quarterback. But yeah, there's several quarterbacks right now I would rather have than Troy Aikman.
You know, I'm going to throw one out there, and it's kind of crazy, but I'm going to throw it out there. But if you put Mark Rippon behind that line, give him those weapons, I think he still wins Super Bowl with the Cowboys. I mean, he won one with Washington, You know, he had Art Monk. Who else?
That was a really physical run. That was out of all those Redskin Commander teams. That's probably I know, right? That's probably the best. You know, some of them believe they should bring the name back, Rudy.
Isn't the Indian tribe the one that's trying to get them to bring it back?
Yeah.
So why not? I mean, you still have other teams that.
Well, look, we have Florida State still has their name, but that's an actual Seminole. Rudy Street saying Gio Bowling. Yes, sir. Hey,
Oh man.
Jeff is right on that.
If I bowled against you in 5 games, I doubt you get 7 strikes the whole night. Doubt. In 5 games.
I mean, I'm not much of a bowler, but I'm pretty sure, as Jeff said, the street's been talking, Rudy.
Well, I don't know what street it is. It's probably from one house to the next. That's it. That's about as far as that goes. Because if you couldn't get 7 strikes in 5 games, I'll get 7 strikes in 1 game. That's not a big deal for me. So I don't know where Jeff's getting this here. He's trying to put the sweep the league on sweep the league crime here, and we got to stop that. No crime on crime here. Don't crap on my boy Bledsoe. Yeah, I'm not crapping on him.
No, I thought Drew was a good player, but unfortunately, Tom Brady. It wasn't Drew winning all those Super Bowls.
Tom Brady should not have all those Super Bowls.
I'll say this. Drew Bledsoe got to the Super Bowl, but against Brett Favre. I think Bill Parcells also told the team he was leaving, which was very odd.
Mm-hmm.
But the Packers that's the team that was really like to say a team on a mission. And Reggie White, good Lord.
Reggie White, man. Could Jim Kelly have won a Super Bowl if he played for the Cowboys if he switched with Troy?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Jim Kelly is a quarterback that, I'm sorry, when you talk about all-time greats, he's got to be up there. You do not lead a team to, 4 Super Bowl appearances in a row? Just, even though you didn't win, you don't do that. We'll never probably see that again. I know Mahomes has an opportunity to do it, but in this era, I don't think you're ever going to see that again. There's just no way. Those Buffalo Bills teams, Scott Norwood, he screwed up that first one.
Troy Aikman never made an All-Pro.
Never?
All-Pro.
Wow.
I mean, that an All-Pro. Tom's only won it a few times, but it's hard to win All-Pro. I mean, it's only two spots, Rudy, right? I mean, it's hard to get All-Pro, but I'm just saying that once.
So Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. should have all the Super Bowls, Rudy. So Tuck Rule should have never won a Super Bowl there. If Dan Quinn and Kyle Shanahan get their heads out of their ass, they should have never won a Super Bowl there. So those are 2 definite ones that he should have never, ever won a Super Bowl with. The Lote, I mean, once Rob comes on the show, we're going to have to ask him about the Lote. But what other Super Bowls? I mean, there's a couple of Brady. And I love what Joel said. Tough shit, man. It is tough shit. I was a part of one of those.
Look, Tom is, unfortunately, I was part of the Rams' 3 points in a Super Bowl. So.
Jesus Christ, Jeff. What happens if the Dallas had paired Barry Sanders with Aikman and Irving with that offensive line back in the day?
So, I think they would still win.
Prime Barry Sanders behind that line.
Prime Barry, obviously, when it gets to postseason, Rudy, the cold, potentially having to travel, the game slows down in the postseason. But I got to think Barry at least gets 2 Super Bowls. And that offensive line, one of the best units. And then you had the receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming in there, playing well.
It wasn't just one.
Definitely had
Alvin Harper was another one there.
Johnson did take some extra stuff we won't talk about on the show here. But look, Charles Haley, they were just loaded. It's going to be hard to take down that team, and you had to have an offensive line. Why, Rudy? Because at that time, the league had a lot of premier pass rushers, and Mr. One Lawrence Taylor, who you had to block him. The Giants still got 2 Super Bowls with Lawrence Taylor. Obviously, if you don't block that guy, good luck.
You know, one guy I always mention him, and it sucks because a lot of people never really got to see him play. But if Derek Thomas would have not been in that accident that killed him, I mean, you're talking potentially another Lawrence Taylor type of career. Derek Thomas with the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you talk about quick. You talk about strong. You talk about an immediate impact defensive player. You know, it's always one of the what ifs in football for me was Derek Thomas. Also, you know, Sean Taylor is another one, another what if, because you could have been talking about, you know, one of the best secondary guys in the game at the time with Sean Taylor. So I don't know, man. You're right. Defenses back then, they were a lot better than what we're seeing today.
No, I mean, the game was different. You had Thomas, you had Lawrence Taylor, you had Cortez Kennedy up there in Seattle. There were just so many great defensive players in today's, and there's a lot of the great ones too. You know, we talk about the Cleveland Browns, Rudy. They're, you know, if that report was correct, the Vikings coach says, "Hey, can y'all tone it down a little bit out here?" If that's true, and it probably is, Rudy, it just shows you that if you have a physical unit like that causing injury, just imagine during a game how physical
it gets worse.
That game is that team is going to be, and that team, I think, barring any issues, Rudy, if Deshaun he's got to improve. I thought last season very weird. He was playing games, he was out. Seemed like a mystery injury sometimes. I don't know what's going on in his head. He seemed like he was missing the big games, playing against teams who weren't really good. Joe Flacco gets into the playoffs. So yeah, the 90s. I mean, you can definitely look it up already, and definitely the 80s. The 80s and 70s with no rules, Rudy. You can. I mean, he's just literally you can literally murder someone. And there's been players who have been paralyzed from playing. One of the players, it was a preseason game, Rudy. I forgot the safety. Was it Jack Ham? No, it was. Anyway, he hurt a Patriots receiver.
Yeah,
I'm forgetting these names, and he's paralyzed for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the 90s NFL. And it's so funny, Rudy, how you see their pads. Like, everything was bigger back then. Like, the pads were bigger. Like, the players, not that the players now are obviously stronger, faster, whatever the case may be. But back then, they looked bigger just because it was just a different time. Now players have nutrition, right? They're coming in, Rudy, just jacked up or... I mean, look at Aaron Donald. I mean, not talk about him with the shirt off, but when you see Aaron Donald with that shirt on, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is, man. It is, and that's that's the things that we were talking about from way back then, man. It's also it's different times. Different times. Last comment here, Joel Cohen. Will the NFL be a flag football league in 10 years? You know, there's been talk about it. There has been talk about it. I will say, to let everybody off for the night, I like the new kickoff rule. So we're going to end the show right here. So for Cody, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, so we're definitely going to be on tomorrow, 9:00 p.m. So we'll be back with you. Hopefully Derek will be with us tomorrow. We'll see if Coach Joe will be popping in tomorrow, but if not, we'll see everybody on Monday. Monday, the time changes again. I'll let everybody know this weekend. I'll make a video. I'll tag everybody so you know what time we're going on Monday. But nonetheless, you have a great night. Gio, appreciate you joining me tonight. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. But for Coach Gio, for Hall of Famer Derek Irvin, it's Rudy Campos here. Until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, guys.
Hey there, there, sports fans. I'm Ashley, your go-to girl for all things sports here on Sweep the League. Welcome to our daily news reports where we'll be covering the latest updates from the NFL, NBA, WNBA, college sports, and more. We're thrilled to be a part of the rapidly growing Sweep the League network, bringing you fast and fresh news updates every day. Make sure to subscribe to Sweep the League TV on YouTube for even more in-depth analysis and discussions with our amazing team Monday through Friday. Huge thank you to our incredible sponsors in San Antonio for their support. We couldn't do it without you. So let's get started. I'm Ashley, and I'll be sweeping the league for you every day. Stay tuned for the latest sports news and updates.